It's been a absolutely disastrous month for Boris Johnson. There has been headline after headline about rule-breaking Christmas parties in Downing Street, or summer parties in Downing Street, all during lockdowns. His backbenchers have also given him a black eye in the House of Commons over vaccine passports, and he's dithered in the face of Omicron. He hasn't really looked like he's in control. So a slide in his approval ratings probably didn't come to the Prime Minister as a surprise, though the extent of that slide might have done. These look really, really bad for Boris Johnson. So when asked, this is YouGov, by the way, when asked, do you think Boris Johnson is doing well or badly as Prime Minister? An overwhelming 71% of respondents answered badly, and only 23% thought he was doing well. So 71% say badly, only 23% doing well. Now, that is the lowest his approval rating has been since he became Prime Minister in 2019. And as the Times point out, who I think jointly did this poll with YouGov, is pretty close to Theresa May's ratings in the week before she was forced to resign. So this is the kind of territory where it's difficult to continue in your job. The breakdown of these statistics is even worse for the Conservatives, because older people who make up the majority of the Conservative Party's support think worse of Boris Johnson now than they ever have. Now, these statistics and the change in them is quite extraordinary. Right now, for those over 65, only 35% of people, 35% of people over 65 approve of Boris Johnson as Prime Minister, down from a high of 85% in March 2020. So 85% of people in that age category approved of him in 2020, now down to 35. 63% of people actively disapprove of him who are over 65. For people who are aged between 50 and 64, 71% think he's doing a bad job. Again, a key demographic that usually swings Conservative. And the Tories will also be eyeing the north of England, which was obviously the route to their majority in 2019. There, Boris Johnson also very unpopular. So 70% of people think he's doing a bad job. 26% think he's doing well. That's not the only bad news for Boris Johnson, because while Keir Starmer's ratings are not exceptional, they are improving. They're moving in the right direction. So 51% of people still think Keir Starmer is doing a bad job, but that has fallen. And 28% think he's doing a good job. That is rising. So as I say, they're not exceptional, but they're moving in the right direction. Boris Johnson's are moving in the wrong ones. And then when we look at voter intention, focal data, their polling suggests that Labour is widening its lead. Labour on 41%, the Conservatives on 34%. And the stats for lefties, who work with Novara Media sometimes, they think Labour would get 301 seats compared to the Conservatives' 252. Also significant, this is probably the most significant one actually, who would you think make the best Prime Minister? Keir Starmer on 38, Boris Johnson on 34. And if this was all too technical for you, we can go to something a bit more human. At Alexandra Palace this week, people watching the darts.
Nigel Holden's got to make hay.